Welcome back to Real Chill Conversations. I'm Dominique, and as you all know, I have Erica with me today in the building. So, thank you so
Hey,
much, Erica, for joining me for another great conversation. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And, we're happy to have you. Tonight, we're talking about something we all spend time every day, whether you realize it or not, our energy.
yes.
And it's crazy because some of us protect our money like so much. Well, some of us, but many of us give our energy away without thinking twice about it sometimes. Isn't that crazy?
That is really crazy. And did you know energy could be contagious?
It
Energy is
is. It
courtesy.
really is. Energy
Energy-
is currency. Um,
Absolutely.
the people, habits, and situations, like everything we invest our energy into, can either help us grow or leave us feeling exhausted, behind. Like, how do we recognize where our energy is going? How do we protect it? And how do we invest in it wisely? Those are
That's a
very
good
good questions.
question. Well, energy is important, it's important frequency, We perform at the physical level. We make ourselves look nice. We do, and we forget about what's inside. That's where the energy comes. It's not about the outside, it's the what's inside. Energy is the essence of life, it's the movement of life. So, you know, when you're dealing with energy, you want to make sure you first at a good state of mind with yourself, surround yourself with positive, good energy, thinking
Right.
people, and walk it and live it and be your authentic self. I go by that every single day because you can be in a good mood and be around somebody negative, and that energy can drain you. So you got to protect your energy at all times.
Exactly. And I feel like every day we're making withdrawals from our energy account.
Mm,
So
absolutely.
some people, will add value um to our lives, and some people will, like you said, like, feeling exhausted. If somebody is in a negative state of mind, and I'm not saying that we all don't get there, because we do, right? We're humans. We
Mhm.
all been there. Like, for example, as for me, when I get like in a negative state of mind, I kind of like stay to myself because I
Mhm.
want to be able to get out of that place that I'm in. And yes, I have friends, my friends call me, I have family,
Mhm.
that really care about me, and they'll try to lift me up and, you know, remind me, hey, it's not the end of the world. Don't be trying to control things that you can't control. So at the end of the day, I always do try to find my way out of that negative um timestamp in my life. And it's been so many of them. Even when I was sick, I was going through a very hard time, and I was trying to stay positive through my sickness, because I felt like, when you're sick, when your health ain't right, that is the perfect time for the enemy to come in and mess with you, because you're so vulnerable, and you're just open to negativity. You know what I'm saying? You're going through a lot. Um And I really had to that was a time in my life where I valued my energy so much more than I ever did. Because if I wasn't in a good mindset, I was not going to be able to get better. When I found myself being positive, when I found myself like speaking life into myself, like when I'm listening to people that other people that are sick and have, worse conditions than I was in. Thank God by the grace of God, it was just, you know, my iron, and that's still bad, but I'm just saying it's other people going through worse things out here. But when I started listening to other people's stories and I started to realize, hey, I'm so grateful that it's just this.
And the
And I
piggyback, that's good. Um,
yeah, yes.
I wanted to piggyback on what you just said. When you said you were sick and you started thinking positive, most good things come to us from the result of a source of high energy, how we think. So the way you changed your thinking, you forgot all about that. You probably started feeling better and everything. It's a mindset, you know. Um,
Yes.
a lot of people could be going they everyday life doing everything good, go visit the doctor, and the doctor say, "Hey, you got cancer, you got some type of sickness." And guess what? The way you think, you start feeling that way. But before the doctor even told you that, you were just fine. It was until the doctor told you something, put that into your mindset, and now you started
Mm,
living that way. Um, words are powerful. They're seeds. Whatever you
very.
say, whatever you put out there, it grows. So you got to be careful how you think, what you say, because like you said, you had to change the way you was thinking into positive, and everything started changing. Positive thinking doesn't make things work, it just make things better. So I rather say, hey, you know what, instead of being into this negative thought process, let me think positive. It might not make things work, but at least it'll make things better.
I think that the way you think, I mean, it has a lot to do with everything. And I felt like when I was thinking negative, it was like, okay, I need to stop because now I'm bringing up things that have not even come to light. It's not even true yet, you know? So the more you think negative, even into the future, that's what you're going to get. The more you think, the more positivity that you think into the future, then you have a chance. But if you're constantly in this negative state of mind, then that's not good. And that's when we have to sit back and really think about what we're doing because some habits will push us forward while others will hold us back, y'all.
That's good.
So
Hmm.
seriously.
Yeah.
And we have to also think about, putting ourselves in situations, and I know we have loved ones and all this, and people that we love and care about, and we want to be by them and we want to share time with them too. But what do you do when somebody else that you care about and love is in a state of mind where their energy is off? How do you share a moment with them to conserve your energy?
That's a good one. Because I was just about to say, you got to be selective who you surround yourself or who you be around. That matters. But then you made a comment by what do you do if it's a person you love and they're
Yes,
negative? Because sometimes you can't select your family or, close people.
exactly.
So, how do you deal with that? I think that you try to stay in your own truth, and kind of figure out what's the difference between you and them. Like they can be negative, but you don't have to let that person drain you with their negativity. You can also, communicate with that person and talk it through, because, for example, you got family that's old school and they might say one thing, it's like, you need to do this and you need to do that. And we might think of it as being negative, but that's just the way they was raised, they was born. So we kind of got to get them new ideas. Like, look, I get that you feel like this is not going to work out, or grandma, you don't want me to leave out of the state because you think it's bad, but what about the positive? Sometimes we got to teach others what positivity is, because some people are just stuck in their ways and they stuck in that negative mindset.
I
I
like
live
that.
off of positivity. It's no way that I can be. It's like it does something to me just to be around negativity. So I 100% agree that you have to be selective who you surround yourself with, and let close to you, and be mindful that your energy. You can have good energy. Sometimes your energy can raise other people up. Your energy around other people can bring them up because of your frequency, how good your energy is. And
I
then
love that.
sometimes you can remove yourself from them and things change. So just as good as it can be positivity to somebody, it can also be negative if you're around somebody with negative energy all the time, complaining, always complaining about something, always got a problem, got an attitude, someone from talking about somebody. That can drain you and
I think that people that have an attitude all the time and
mhm.
just, those, yes, that can definitely be so draining.
What do you
What are
do
you,
though when you're
yeah,
around somebody that's negative all the time?
I'm sorry. There has, like you said, you can
Mhm,
try,
mhm,
try to get that person distracted
mhm,
and, get them to do, kind of like teach them what you know about energy, teach them what you know about coming out of that state. But what are you spending too much time worrying about?
mm, that part. That
Are
is
you
good.
investing your energy into growth, peace,
Mm,
and purpose, or into drama, negativity, and things that you cannot control?
that
We
part.
have to learn, we have to learn. And this was a hard one for me because I would always want to be able to control everything around me.
Mhm, me
Like,
too. Me
if
too.
it ain't this way, it ain't no way,
Right.
oh my gosh. No, it can't be like that because I was supposed to know that. I was supposed to have that under control. I should not be here. I should not be in this spot right now that I'm in right now. No, stop. Stop right there. Control what you can control. The rest, let it go. Let it go. I think we lost Miss Erica. You can come back in, Miss Erica. I'll let you back in. I'm sorry, y'all. Here she goes.
I'm back. I'm sorry, guys.
You're fine. I was like, we gonna wait on her.
My phone went out.
Um,
But yes, I'm sorry about that. It's
you're
my little
fine.
doggy. First of all, but go ahead. You say control what you can.
Yeah, control what you can. I had to learn that because what we do is stress ourselves out for no reason at all. At
And
all.
exactly. And you got to know that your tongue is powerful. The universe is waiting for people to complain and just catch on to that. You know, when your tongue is powerful,
Yes.
you start talking negative, then you start manifesting negativity in your life. I'm a firm believer. When you speak good things come to you. When you speak bad things come to you. Again, sometimes um, positivity may not solve the issue, but it makes you feel better. You could wake up in the morning, and I do this every morning. Sometimes you wake up, you don't feel like getting up out of bed. You don't feel like, you know, going to work, you don't feel like it, but that's the way you start your day off by thinking. And it's the way you change your perspective. You can change your perspective and say, you know what, today is going to be a good day. Today is going to be a
What I
peaceful
st-
day. Hmm.
what I started doing, I'm glad you said that, Miss Erica, because there was a point in my life where I used to be like that too. And what I did was I wrote some sticky notes on my mirror, and all of my sticky notes were
Affirmations.
things,
Yeah.
affirmations of me
Hmm.
speaking to myself, y'all. And when I'm telling you, every morning that I looked at that mirror and start speaking those affirmations into life, everything changed.
That's
I
good.
started to pay attention to how I feel after certain conversations, interactions, and even situations. If it's making me feel drained, stressed, and overwhelmed, after dealing with something or someone, that's a sign for me. That's a sign for me, but it's not a sign to, just run away, but it's definitely a sign that what I'm spending too much time on.
I
Okay.
agree.
What I'm spending too much energy on. So I learned how to set boundaries for myself, understand. I had to understand that I don't have to attend every argument.
Mm. I learned that too. That's a good one. Silence is the key. We don't have to always speak or say our opinion when we hear things that we disagree. Sometimes it's better not to say anything. Just
Exactly.
that's a good one. What you just said, I totally agree on that one.
I didn't have to fix every problem.
Hmm.
Even I remember a conversation that I had with you. I won't go into details about it, but when you talked to me and you had that conversation with me when we was at the venue, I was like, wow, I appreciate that. Like I really appreciated that conversation because you don't know how much I needed it at a time that it was so hard for me.
Absolutely.
And you
And it
really
was
spoke life
always
into
something.
me.
And yeah, and from then to now, the way that I see you blossom and the way your character is, it was always there. But I'm a firm believer that God put certain people in your life for a certain reason. And
Yes.
you're positive, always been positive. I'm learning that with the older I get with certain people around. It's like, oh, I had to ask myself, am I getting older? Because I hear things even where we, working in the job force. I hear things and I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to react. I want to say something. But I also know that sometimes you can't speak on everything because now I'm getting distracted. My energy is going down because I'm focusing on that person and what they said, and then I pull myself back in. And that's something that I had to teach myself that works good. I know how to pull myself in and say, you know what? I'm not going to think like that. The devil is a lie. So that's a good thing. If you got control of your thinking, and because, we humans, we got flesh. So one minute we might feel some type of way, but I know how to say, you know what? I'm not going to I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna stay positive, and I'm gonna continue to be positive. And as the day go, I start seeing little things in my life, positivity, little things like just going to the grocery store. And I tell myself before I
Right.
even go to the grocery store, I know I'm gonna find a parking spot in the front. And guess what? I find one. And I'm like, yes,
That's
that's
right.
positive. And I tell myself, I speak it. And as soon as I go in there you go, a parking spot.
I love it because I'm just like that. Like if I'm speaking something into existence, it usually happens. Very rarely, anything that I have spoken does not. So definitely my words are very powerful. Um so guys, you don't have to attend every argument. You don't have
Mhm.
to fix every problem. You don't have to carry someone else's burdens. Sometimes you have to limit access,
To you.
especially when it's not the right
Mhm.
energy.
Correct.
when I invest my energy, you know, it means to me, it means putting me first, putting myself first, um, in positions to help me grow. Because when I do this, like I said, I have always seen a positive result in return.
And
And
that's
like Miss
good.
Erica said, it's the universe.
Mhm.
Whatever you put, my mom used to tell me this from when I was little. Whatever you put out is definitely what you're gonna get back.
Yes. And we don't have to accept daily deceit. We don't have to accept things that the universe give to us. We
Exactly.
can
So be
definitely
so
shut it down like,
yeah, so be mindful. I did want to ask you a question. What's one thing you stopped giving your energy to? Okay, well, you did mention that.
mhm.
And I was about to say, and how did your life change because of it?
One of them is conflict. I just don't have
Conflict,
time.
yes.
Yeah, I don't have time. And then, explaining over and over, like trying to get people to understand you. See, I can only be me. That's why I say EC just being me, authentically me. I can only be myself, you know. Either you're gonna love me or you're not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fake it. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna be authentic. And so I had to learn that sometimes things is just not worth explaining. It's not worth the argument. It's not worth it. Now I pray for you all day. If I'm at a level and you're not, I can pray for you because I'm a strong believer that prayer works. I will pray for you, but I don't that don't mean I have to be in the middle of it. So I had to step back, and just be into myself, know who I am, know that I'm positive and know that I'm staying the same. And that's what I've been told all week. And it's good that you came up with this topic because all week, Dominique, people has been coming to me from skating, from work, from church, saying one thing about you, EC, is you never change. You always stay the same. Your positivity, your person is
Yes.
always the same. Now I have my bad days, but I know how to
We
shut
all
it
do.
down, yeah, and not take it out. So I've learned that, and it takes growth, but I have to protect my peace because I am currently now in a peaceful state of mind. So I never want to let that go, even though trials and tribulations will come, but I will always have joy because now I learned the power of peace and being positive.
And you know what? I see it in you. I experience it with you. And I see that you don't change. You just the same. Like, and you do so many things for other people. It's like you're so giving.
Yeah.
So, I love that about you because you don't expect anything. You know what I'm saying? You just do it. That's your energy.
That's me. I don't do it for credit. I don't do it for anything.
Yeah.
That's just me. But I also know that people like us, like me and you, and positive people and good energy people can be taken advantage of. So I've learned again, yeah, I'm nice and I'm positive, but also, I'm the type of, you show me who you are, I believe it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't like,
Yeah.
it can only go to a limit, but at the same time, I'm not gonna change. And then again, if you're around, if people
And
are
you
around
shouldn't
negative
let
people, you
nobody
can leave.
take
You can
over
you
you.
you don't have to, yeah, you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, you don't
You
have
know.
to. Definitely, I would always say, you have to have boundaries. Um, like I learned that. I had to learn that myself because I'm just like you remind me of me. Like I'm
Mhm.
very giving and sometimes, in the past I have went overboard to the point where I would be upset with nobody but myself because I would be like, Dominic, why did you do all that?
Mhm.
Like you have to have a stopping point at some point.
Absolutely.
And when I learned that, I started to appreciate myself more. I started to see myself more. I
And that's a good
started
thing.
to.
That good thing that you aware and you learned that, because
Yes.
I've learned in just a fact couple of months that some people came at me the wrong way or thought my intentions were a certain way. And I had to tell myself, you know me, you know my intentions is not that way. You're not receiving who I am. And I'm not gonna force anyone. I'm not gonna try to make anyone validate who I am. So with that being said, I just step away. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a good person, and if you wanna perceive me as a certain person, then I'll let you have that, because the truth always going to come out. You can't fake your
Absolutely.
authentic. It's going to come out.
That's true. That's true. And I had to learn that myself because I have been put in situations where my name just gets slandered. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not explaining anything. You can
Right.
believe what you want to believe. But I'm telling you that when I walk and you going to see me and you going to see me for who I am. But, I don't have to sit there and explain. And that was one of the things that was like another, negative trait I had where I would want to sit there and explain this and explain that and try to make my point. But at the end of the day, it's not that, you know? We're not wasting energy on trying to explain who we are,
Mm,
especially to people that been around you for so long and know you. You know what I'm
correct.
saying? It's like we're not doing that. Now, yes, there come situations where you need to may give an explanation or two, but
Hmm.
draining yourself, if you got to drain your energy to explain yourself, then don't do it.
Absolutely. And I've learned that with work sometimes. Like sometimes a consumer or a customer could throw me off, and I said,
Okay.
never
Miss
again.
Erica,
Oh, yes, I'm here. I'm here.
are you on mute?
No, can you hear me
You
now?
may be on mute.
Hold on one
If
second.
not, you can drop back out and come back in because I don't think we can't hear you.
Okay, hold on.
Guys, can you put something in the chat if you can hear me, please? I want to make sure we're having a good connection. Okay, here she goes again.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can
Okay, there
hear
you
you
go.
now.
Mhm.
Yes, so I believe a lot of us have been there where, our names have gotten slandered and, just people speaking bad about you. But like I said, I really don't care and I really don't pay any mind. Maybe in the past I did, but I don't waste my energy on that. I don't waste my energy on that.
And that's a good
Did
trait
you
to have.
did you have any final words for today, Miss Erica?
Um, no, but just stop accepting, negativity in your life and daily deceit. I did have a couple of oh yeah. Claim your power. That's a good one that I thought about. Claim your power. Words are seeds, and
Ooh,
what you speak is what grows. You know, say things like you're alive, you're blessed. I'm gonna have a good
yes.
day, you know. My money is in circulations. It's coming. It's raining,
It's
but the sun is
here.
gonna
No,
come out.
it's
It's here.
my
It's here.
money.
Yeah.
It's here.
It's
It's in
here.
the bank right now.
Right. Don't give me
It's
money. Right. Don't give me money for my car note. Give me enough money to pay my whole car off. How about that?
right. We're not speaking things into
Mm.
the future because
Right.
no, we're speaking them into now. We're
Now.
living now.
And that's
So
exactly right.
I'm
Speak it, because
healthy. I'm healthy.
yeah,
I'm Speak it. Speak it every day. If you're
every
going
day.
through something, if you have a sickness and you don't know how to cope with it, and you are trying to find answers to your situation, speak it into existence. Speak it. Your words are so powerful. Your mouth is so powerful. You have to use it.
Yes.
If you don't use it, I
Mhm.
don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. If you're not using it for something that you need to use it for, I don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're missing out on.
And surround yourself with people that make you feel better, that brings maturity, like you said, healthy, give you
Absolutely.
encouragement. When you start surrounding people that want to see you grow and want the best for you, that changes also, because you can't take on other people negativity. So if other people is negative, then get you a new circle and surround yourself with positivity.
I love that. And as we close today, remember
Yeah.
your energy is one of the most valuable assets that you have. Every day you have a choice of where it goes, who receives it, and what it creates in your life. So if it's to set healthy, if it's just to set healthy boundaries, invest in people hold on, invest in people that love you,
Yes.
experience growth every day. You cannot pour from an empty cup, y'all. You can't.
No.
It's just not going to happen. And that's why I say energy is currency. Spend it wisely, invest it, invest
Mhm.
it carefully, and watch how your whole life begins to change in a
Change.
matter of
Yeah.
seconds. Thank you for joining us on Real Chill Conversations tonight. Thank you again, Miss Erica. I'm beyond thankful for your presence in this podcast. And until next time, everyone, take care of yourself and each other. I love y'all. Have a good night.
Love, peace,
Peace
and
out.
happiness. Have a good night. Bye bye.
Bye bye.